Let's talk about Megumi and whether or not he deserves it. What's up, guys? Here we are to do a nice little breakdown / discussion, analysis, and review of Restless Gamblers Stop Hating on Megumi. And what if I told you, no, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. This is a video that I saw pop up and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. This might take a minute. But with that being the case, I'm interested to see what Restless Gambler has to say. Because there has been a quite collective community, not necessarily a revolt, but like kind of revolt on Megumi as a whole. And there's been a lot of negativity surrounding discussion of the character as of recent. And there is a lot to go into. So I will cease my pre-video yapping and I'll get right into it. Editing me! Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Go.
Megumi Fushiguro.
Pausing immediately. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil. Yeah. I do happen to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact. This is a Restless Gamblers video. Please go check out Restless Gambler. The link to his channel and to the original video will be in the description down below. Please go peep. He's a fantastic content creator. Heavily edited content. Fantastic, covers a variety of topics from One Piece to JJK to even more. I think he did JoJo's video. I'm forgetting. But like legit, he has a bunch of amazing content. I plan to react to more of his content. Literally one of them is sitting on the screen right now mocking me. What if a car went to Shibuya? That thing's 23 minutes long though. I'll be here for 5 years if I react to that. I'm likely going to react to that, and I will be here for 5 years. But with that being the case, please go check out Restless Gambler. The link to the original video and the link to the description will be the link to the description. The link to his channel will be in the description down below. I will be yapping extensively. The video is 10 minutes and 20 seconds long. I promise you we're being here for at least 30, and that's being generous to me in terms of my ability to not yap extensively. Be prepared, because I'm going to yap. But with that being the case, there is a lot to talk about Megumi. Personally, I've gone and given my full thoughts on Megumi and whether or not he is to blame and what that means in general. I've done it before. But to speak of it again, real quick, I do actually agree with the common consensus that if Megumi had taken Yuji's hand and woken up, we would have been able to move forward. Sukuna would have lost control of the body. Yuta would most likely still be alive. There would be no more end. And the loss of Gojo Satoru, Higuro Hiromi, Kashimo Hajime, Rui Ishigori, and however, Yorozu, all these other characters, well, Samoki / Yorozu, all these other characters would have had their characters essentially justified properly. And we wouldn't have to worry about the rest of the plot being the rest of the plot as it is right now. Going forth from 251. Because once again, at the time of recording, 251 is the most recent chapter. So, with that being the case, I do agree with that. But I also agree with the idea that Megumi's not to blame for that. The boy's gone through it. He's 16. Gosh darn it. And there have been multiple precautions taken not only by the main antagonists, but also like the world itself that have fundamentally broken the boy. And he also got hit with 5 limited voids and may have not even recognized Yuji as a hand to take in that moment. Thusly, it's not bad writing. It's not story extension artificially. No, it makes sense. It would make genuinely less sense if he just got back up and was like, yeah! I mean, sure, there is the alternate interpretation that, well, if that happened to me, then I'd be lost in a furious rage trying to break out of the cage. But, like, he's already been like this. It's a big part of the character that inherently he has low self-value. And thusly, when put in a scenario where such low self-value is being used against him, of course he's going to break down. That's only human. And I think the characterization of Megumi in 255 is fine, if not good for the character. And I also think it allows for more JJK, which I like. So, yes, Megumi did definitively sell. But that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Nor is it bad for the character, nor is it bad for the writing, nor is it artificial. Those are my thoughts. But let's see what Restless Gambler has to say.
Megumi Fushiguro has finally said something since the chapter he got taken over by Sukuna, but the things he said put a bad taste in readers' mouths on whether or not saving Megumi was even worth it in the first place. And in today's video, let's talk about exactly that. What's up, guys?
What is up, Restless Gambler? I'm not good. But with that being the case, the whole idea, there is one thing, and it's a video I'll make independently, because once again, I'm going to talk about it here, but I'm not sure how far people get into these videos and or whether or not any ideas can be overlapped or further elaborate on their own thing. Personally, I don't think much would have changed. Like, unless you argue Gojo's going to fight fundamentally differently, nothing would have changed. Unless you think Gojo's opening up with unlimited hollow against Megumi and then just doing it again and again and again and erasing Sukuna from existence before he can regenerate, which I don't think would change. I don't think that would happen. I think he'd be foolish enough. If he did it in canon, even though it would make no sense and prove that he just didn't talk to anybody, he probably would have done it at any timeline. Going domain for domain with Sukuna was what Gojo's plan was. Regardless. And he was going to lose. Regardless. Kashimo stood no chance against Sukuna. Regardless. Higuruma stood no chance against Sukuna. Regardless. The only thing that I could argue would change the fundamental nature of the story, if they weren't trying to save Megumi, is Maki may have interfered sooner and taken Sukuna's head off sooner, rather than waiting until the last second, as she did until the end of 251, and or Yuta wouldn't have turned off Jacob's Ladder. And then Sukuna wouldn't have been able to get off World Slash because his techniques would be shut down. And he's literally vaporized. But that would also get rid of Megumi. That's the only thing that changes, at least in my opinion. I don't see anything else changing. You have to do what I would do. And I'll admit, every single time I talk about hypothetical ways that Gojo could have won, that is me sticking a controller up Gojo's butt. And like piloting him around myself. Taking advantage of his unlimited mana meter, his abilities that he didn't use, and all the stuff like that. But if he didn't use them in canon, who am I? Anything I say is headcanon. So yeah, there are ways that Gojo could have won. Doesn't mean he would have. Yeah, sure. Was it foolish for Gojo to not talk to anybody and risk domain, not knowing the consequences of it and doing something that seems fundamentally impossible? Yeah, of course. But he did it. So that wouldn't have changed, most likely, whether or not he was trying to save Megumi. Kashimo never stood a chance. Higuruma never stood a chance. No one ever stood a chance against a full power Sukuna. Only person who had the perfect opportunity to get rid of him but didn't because of saving Megumi is Yuta, because they would have vaporized Sukuna with Jacob's Ladder. Yuta very specifically turned the max output Jacob's Ladder off for Yuji, so he could get in there and save Megumi, which Megumi didn't take the hand, and thusly we're in the scenario we are now. That's the only thing I'll give. But other than that, no. So he's just that strong. Like it's sound like I'm Urume right now, but Sukuna is just that strong. Nothing would have changed except for that most recent scenario, which has only appeared in chapter 251 after the sacrifice of everybody else anyway. So was it worth risking Megumi? If you can think of a way, and I think there are ways, if you can think of a way that they could have dropped Sukuna and just done like the utilitarian thing, 115-year-old for the King of Curses seems like an even trade to me, and then just kept it pushing, then yeah, of course. But it's pretty hard to think of one that doesn't have issues in of itself due to us not having full understanding of Sukuna and how certain things would interact. That's just how it be. But let's see what Restless has.
Gambly here, and in today's video, we'll be talking about the cursed child of blessings.
Cursed child of blessings. Interesting. But that fused two things together. Because I typically call Yuta the Blessed One based on what he talks about being blessed in Sendai, and he's also known as the Cursed Child. But I guess technically, Megumi Fushiguro name means blessings, and he is cursed as a child. So like, bada bing, bada boom. But thank you all for informing me of what this music is. It's fire. It is now in my rotation. But
Megumi Fushiguro. With my guy Blzkn, we'll be going over different moments in Megumi's character and making it known why Megumi is so great. Then afterwards, we'll be going...
Now that's something I disagree. Well, here's the thing. I like Megumi, but I don't see the appeal in Megumi. I think Megumi's kind of boring as a deuteragonist. I'm not gonna lie. That's bad of me, though. That's wrong of me. But it's true. I don't actually like Megumi. But let's see what they have to say about Megumi. Well, no, here's the thing. I like Megumi. Let me not say I don't like Megumi. I just don't like Megumi as much as a lot of other people like Megumi. It's the same thing with Suguru Geto. Like, a lot of people really love Suguru Geto. I think he's neat. Don't really love him, though. So, I don't know. But I'm interested. Blzkn anime. There are videos of him I need to react to as well, so. It's an interesting combo right here. But let's see.
Into what might happen in the future, do make sure to check out my guy's channel, link in the description. But before that, if you enjoy JJK videos like these, go ahead and subscribe. You get more
Hit that like button.
videos, and we'll both be happy. On Monday, I hit 30,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. As celebration for such a milestone, I'm dropping the official Restless Gambler Discord for y'all to chill in. If you're interested in joining, click the first link in the description and I'll see you there. With all that aside, let's get into the video. In the beginning of the manga, and even till now to be honest, Megumi has always been this mysterious figure. But luckily, very early on, we got to see a little peek into his character when him, Yuji, and Obara enter a detention center inhabiting a cursed womb to find and evacuate survivors. Before they go in, a mother of one of the people inside the center asks if her son is okay, but no one knows the answer. Yuji, hearing this, tells the gang that they have to save the guy, but Megumi stays silent while Nobara agrees. When they go inside, the door they went through disappears because the cursed room used cursed energy to expand their domain. And so Megumi, who already had his divine dog out, tells the gang he can track the scent of the exit. Yuji is thankful for this and tells Megumi that he's so reliable and that he saved a lot of people, including himself. But again, Megumi stays silent. And then for the third time in one chapter, Megumi and Yuji have an interaction about saving people. On one hand, Yuji is saying that he'll take the corpse back to the mother from earlier, but Megumi disagrees with this idea, saying he wasn't even worth saving in the first place. He says, you always want to save as many people as possible and focus on going out with a natural death, but who's to say that someone you save won't kill someone in the future? But Yuji replies, asking him, then why did you save me? This startled Megumi because it's an appropriate question to ask. Megumi is rambling on about how he wouldn't save someone dangerous, but yet he saved Yuji, the most dangerous guy out there, having Sukuna within him. Doesn't that mean his ideology is flawed? Well, yes, that's the point. A couple chapters later, when Megumi is about to summon Mahoraga on Sukuna, Yuji comes out and Megumi answers the question he was asked from before. He says that he didn't save Yuji because it was logical to, like how he was neglecting saving the delinquent. He did it because he didn't want to see a good person, no matter how dangerous, die. This was formed because Megumi's sister, his complete definition of a good person, was cursed. No matter how good you are, life will you up. That's just how it goes.
Language. So sorry, I gotta go ahead because he's just been spitting. But let me do this. Editing me, have some fun, Bucko. Have some fun. But he's interesting.
Megumi so we're going on like a full, this if he has
there we go. We're going on a full deep Megumi analysis. Yeah, honestly, the whole idea of Megumi's complications with the desire to save people and the inability to want to save people and all that due to their nature and his essential choice of choosing who's worthy of being saved and who's worthy of not being saved based on their personality and mentality. That is an interesting part of the character, but once again, I feel like it suffers from the exposure thing that a lot of JJK suffers from in general, in my opinion. That's all cool for real. I genuinely forget if it's brought up again. I don't know. Once again, I did read early JJK a while ago, and I'm in desperate need of a reread of early JJK. But like, as interesting as that is, it's still something that is so much better explored with Yuji, who gets more exposure to a similar ideal. The whole concept of saving and who you can save and who you can't save is one of the biggest things in Jujutsu Kaisen. It goes from Geto, it goes from, ironically enough, Sukuna in a way, it goes to Yuji, it goes to Todo, it goes to Yuki, it goes to saving. The choice and the ability to save somebody, or the choice and the ability to leave somebody behind. The utilitarian idea versus the non-utilitarian idea of every life has infinite value, and you don't have the right to choose lives as if they're just numerical values. Heck, it's what happens right now. What the whole debate around Megumi is, it just is, as it is right now. Think about it. The whole reason the battle functions as it does for Sukuna is because of wanting to save Megumi. But at the same time, while I agree nothing would change about that except for the Yuta thing, that still is a thing. What's the whole point we're doing right now? We aren't fighting just to defeat Sukuna, we're fighting to save Megumi. Saving is important, but it's more interestingly explored with other characters than it is with Megumi. To the point where I genuinely don't even remember any of this. Which is bad. And it goes to show I'm not a real Megumi fan. But like, at the same time, I feel like this desire and this explanation for saving required more screen time, more elaboration, more dramatization, more stuff for me to like be like, whoa, maybe the character, maybe they spit on something, but like, he just doesn't get the time. He doesn't get the time, and that's not his fault. Once again, it's not the fault of the character or anything. It's just the nature of the series. It's unfortunate, but like, heck, even on this panel right here, Gojo, he has a much more interesting like relationship with the saving or inability to save other people. It is just simply more interesting. From Geto and beyond, Geto to Yuta to Yuji, all these different characters that Gojo saved, how that played in, how that ended up being his downfall. Heck, Megumi himself. The saving of other characters is a theme that is overarching in Jujutsu Kaisen, but Megumi has, in my opinion, one of the least interesting explorations of it. Especially in comparison to those who have similar narrative weight to him, like Yuji. Well, Yuji has superior, so that's unfair. But like Gojo. Heck, even like Maki. Like, just every other character explores it more interestingly. But this is an extra layer to Megumi that I do appreciate, and I'm glad Restless Gambler is pointing out, because I never would have considered it. I'd say, I was going to say, but I wouldn't have even mentioned it in a hypothetical Megumi character analysis. I wasn't going to do a Megumi character analysis, because I'm mostly indifferent to the character. I favor him, don't get me wrong, but I feel like when Megumi started to get interesting, when the whole predilection to life and the end of life truly started to come into play, it was in the Culling Games arc. And it was right after his initial proper summoning of Big Raga, the Obstapa. But mainly the Culling Games arc. But what happens immediately after, not immediately, there's a little bit of time in between, but like, after we cut back to Megumi and Yuji and the gang of Takuba and Angel, I swear it's not 10 chapters before he gets possessed. Because that's right after the Yuki fight, which ends in like 206, 207, and he's possessed by 213. We don't get to explore it. The darker path he was walking down. And Samuki ends up calling him back from it, which is interesting. But once again, there's just not enough exploration for Megumi for me to genuinely appreciate him as much as I feel like other people do. Which is maybe a testament to how I feel and how I interact with narratives and fiction. But still, I don't got the feeling.
As to, he'll alter the fate of those he can interfere with. For Yuji, he was meant to just die because he ate the finger, but Megumi saved him because he was a good person. In the end, it was a selfish and emotional decision, but those flaws are okay because he's not a hero. He's a Jujutsu sorcerer. And that's why I like Megumi a lot. Megumi has a ton of potential as a sorcerer, but as a character, there was always an interesting dynamic between him and Yuji. While Yuji will save anyone so they can live their lives out and die naturally, Megumi is saving the people he deems good, no matter what they might do later on. But there's a moment you guys probably recognize more than just this, and I'll let Blzkn talk about that, as well as his thoughts on future outcomes.
So why do I...
Alright. Once again, it's the lack of exploration. It's the lack of exploration that does it dirty, due to the lack of time. Because that is true. The contradictory idea. But even then, Yuji's idea mutates. It mutates thanks to Mahito. It mutates very early on. And we see the idea of saving versus being able to save versus what saving really means. We see that expanded on so much more with Yuji. Through his interaction with Mahito. Through Shibuya. Heck, through to the modern day. Like, we've seen it develop and grow more and more and more, mutate. But outside of that initial declaration that Megumi saves who he deems worthy of saving based on their personality and mentality, I feel like it isn't explored beyond that. But we get more exploration on his feelings about life and how he should view life and who isn't worth saving and who's worth being used and sacrificed in order for his own ideas. We start to get that in the Culling Games. We start to dip our toes into the endless pool that is Megumi Fushiguro's potential as a character. But ultimately, It all gets left behind. Once he gets left behind and possessed, he gets more used as a narrative tool than anything else. Like, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Notably, I genuinely do hope, and I'm already appreciating Megumi more thanks to Restless Games analysis, which is good. That's why I love reacting and listening to other creators' content. I like when my perspective changes. I'm a stubborn individual. Don't get me wrong. I'm an insanely stubborn individual. In terms of my mentality, my thought process, everything goes. I am stubborn, but I am very, very open to having my opinions change. Y'all in the comments change my opinion all the time. I have softened and or hardened on thoughts due to what y'all give in the comments, which is why I always appreciate comments. I always read them because everyone else's opinion has great chances of changing mine. Because admittedly, a boy does not hold on to many thoughts that deeply. So I always appreciate that, and it's always interesting to see it. And tackling it from that angle, I think Megumi does have potential, but it goes back into the idea of potential versus actualization, potential versus execution. I, as an individual, could take this pencil right here, that's not a blank sheet of paper, it has numbers on it, but let's say, take this mostly blank sheet of paper, ignoring that number on there, and I could whip out the best, most next level drawing you've ever seen. I could make Murata look like a kindergartner with crayons. I have potential, because I have hands and a pencil and a blank sheet of paper, mostly blank. But I ain't doing that. I'm not executing that. My execution wouldn't be up to par. That's how I feel about Megumi. Endless potential, deep potential, have the potential to have his ideology change and shift and really tackle what it means to be a good person in Megumi's eyes, and whether or not that function and form changes depending on the actions of an individual, but it never gets addressed. Execution just isn't there. Which is why the character, in the long run, especially looking back through the series, in the long run it feels like he had this set in stone role, which is good. I do believe it's good to be able to look back through a narrative and look at a character's previous interactions with other characters and end up seeing their future role later. I think that actually is good. That's called foreshadowing, ladies and gentlemen. And so I'm going to stop right there. But at the same time, I feel like it gets in Megumi's way. It causes issues. And ironically enough, it makes me appreciate the character more, but value the character less. That's what information tends to do. But let's see what Blzkn anime has to cook out. Let's see how that race gets up.
I love Megumi Fushiguro. As #1 Megumi fan on this platform, I've been pushing the Megumi agenda for a very long time. But the moment that stuck up to me mainly was when he first opened his domain expansion. At this moment in time, I was really getting to the flow of who do I like more. Is it Maki? Is it Nobara? Is it Yuji? Is it Megumi? Is it Gojo, Mahito? All these great characters, Nanami, etc. But the moment where Megumi decided, you know what? Forget all of this. He listened to not only Sukuna, but Gojo. And I love that little moment with him and Gojo. And he said, cool, let's really show business.
Language.
He pulled out Kai.
It doesn't really count as language, but I'm just going to give editing me more work because I think it's funny. Editing me won't find it funny. Editing me will probably reach back to the time stream once he figures out time travel, but joke's on him. He'll just create a split timeline. He won't actually do anything to me, but let's see.
Mirror Shadow Garden for the first time. Not only that, but the visual expression. My mind was looking like a crackhead. That Pharaoh Megumi where he's losing it all and becoming more selfish was really when I saw the useful potential. Now I'm saying
okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This tickles my heart and soul. This one gets me. This one gets me all. I'm sorry. When I tell you, Restless Game was fantastic. There's at least twice. No, wait, Blzkn, wait. But Chimera Shadow Garden Megumi. In fact, let me go to a more appropriate screen. There we go, perfect. Chimera Shadow Garden Megumi. That admittedly is where I got to see some interest in the character. The snapping, the willingness to leave it all behind like his daddy, like that. I agree. That is a definite point and peak point of Megumi. And once again, this side of him does start to get explored in the Culling Games. The selfishness of Megumi and the willingness to be selfish. It starts as soon as the Culling Games begin. He wants Yuji to come save him, come help him save Samuki. And once again, it's loosely hinted at there, but it's brought up expertly when he takes his first life. Like not a curse, kind of a curse user, but not anything indifferent. He's not leaving a body behind or not saving a delinquent because he doesn't feel. No, he takes his weapon, lands down, boom, 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 walks off the dead body, and is like, 5 points. I just need so many more so I can save Samuki. It's very selfish, and I do appreciate that. Especially coming from a character like Megumi, who, for the most part, is emotionally, I'm not gonna say emotionally cooked, but like emotionally indifferent. Seeing Megumi dive into emotion, fantastic, beautiful, wonderful stuff, and seeing it being treated as both a positive and a negative thing, the perks of the insanity, but the downsides of the insanity being proposed and shown in the Jujutsu Society. Beautiful! Beautiful, 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 immaculate. Once again, he kind of goes radio silent after this for a while. We get to see a little bit of it when he summons Big Raga, but once again, that's more a Big Raga moment rather than a Megumi moment. And I feel like we don't really get much of this until Culling Games. And once again, the moment we leave Culling Games, or at least his section of it, we cut back 5 chapters later, he's cooked! So I just, like, it's just, there isn't enough exploration in comparison to other characters who get exploration about their selfishness, how they feel about it, their selfishness or their selflessness, and how it gets explored, how it gets elaborated on. He just doesn't have enough. Though I can understand why this is the moment. I believe this is the moment where a lot of people had Megumi as their favorite. I see you shifting off that gosh darn wall. You are staying up there. I was going to call you a young lady, but you are a Keyblade. So I'm not sure what I should label you as, but no! You will stay up there in the heavens where you belong. But this is a big moment. One of my close friends, their favorite character is Megumi. And it's because of this. So I can understand why that was a big awakening moment for Blzkn. So that'll be respect. I didn't know Megumi was his favorite character though. That's a massive respect. Especially in a series like Jujutsu Kaisen where it's so easy to have so many different faves. I think he is the first. Well, they like Megumi a lot. It's there. I need to double check. I'd say it's their favorite, but I'm not sure. I'll need to double check with them because they also really, really, really like Sukuna, which is why they were genuinely happy when Sukuna possessed Megumi. They're like, yes, 2 of my characters merging together. But
the potential man stuff as a Megumi defender. However, in this instance, that was really when I did see his unfortunate potential, where I said, yeah, this guy might really be the guy. And from then on, it really made me love his story, because a character who struggles with their own mindset is something I'm always going to be moved by. But to take it to a step further, we then got the moment where his body got snatched, and everybody started hating him. And I'm not gonna lie, if Sukuna snatched your body, you'd be cooked too. Not only
Restless. How you going? Is that friend? I don't know what Restless is. Because I don't think he's ever done like a face. But Restless, really, Restless. Come on, man. I'm gonna assume it sounds like Friendly Fire, and if it ain't Friendly Fire, it's even worse. But Restless. But I know Blzkn could be going for Friendly Fire, but I don't think he had it in the video. But yeah, but really, I don't. But then again, maybe I just don't remember. I don't think people were hating on Megumi then. Like, what was he supposed to do? like he went for it. Like, at least I specifically remember defending Megumi. Like, we can't say he didn't try. He didn't try to pull out Divine Dog. He didn't try to pull out Nue. He didn't try to pull out Max Alpha. No, he went for it. He tried. Like, I remember people feeling bad for Megumi and then getting hyped immediately when he was the one holding Sukuna back and leading to one of the best jumps in the series of mocking Yuji versus Naguna. Like, I remember people hate on Megumi then. The main amount of hate I've seen is post 251. Because the olive branch was extended and he didn't realize there was an olive branch and just kept on crying. And then bada bing, bada boom, Yuta got cooked. That was the main thing. At least in my opinion, a lot of the Megumi negativity has come from the fact that he sacrificed, like, by him not immediately taking Yuji's hand him actually suffering as a character and like that actually playing into his character and stuff like that. By doing that, he's taken away other people's things. Like Yuta's an extremely popular character. Gojo, I don't think I need to say that. He's the, dare I say, he's the one character. He's the one character who's transcended his series entirely. Gojo Satoru has completely just woo to the heavens. That man's gone. Like in terms of like universal popularity, there's no, on every level, from a character level to an art level to a design level to a scaling level, especially Gojo Satoru, boom, zoom, gone past the verse. And essentially what a lot of people are interpreting Megumi's denial of Yuji, and I say denial in like heavy quotation marks. Now I'm more back into the fact that Unlimited Voids actually did just mess up Megumi's brain. So he may have been chatting to himself, not realizing that Yuji was even there. But I think what a lot of people are seeing is, hey, this guy who we tried to save and we lost my favorite character for, sold! Which I agree did. But they just ignore the rest of the character stuff and just like, he's sold, no! And then they start to retroactively hate on Megumi. That's how I see it. That's how I would justify it, even though I think that's wrong. I don't think it's Megumi's fault. Like, once again, the whole thing is against them. And remember, one of the biggest things that I come to Megumi's defense for, and I did it in the Megumi video, and I may talk about it again later on, I'll talk about it here now, it's the fact that they don't even know about Samuki, or the bath, or the slaughter by the tent. Like, they don't know about that. No one knows. Kind of like how I consistently joke that no one told Hikari that there is no Zenin clan. Like, Maki never told anybody. And considering how little they seem to talk over the month time scheme and how little prep they did, that may actually be a thing. No one actually, like, genuinely no one knows about the bath. And the fact that Megumi's soul was actively sunk in pure, literal, actual evil in order to make sure Bro couldn't wake up. And that Sukuna would have more control over the body. Nobody knows. I don't think anyone knows about Samuki. They never figured out that was Yorosu. Nobody told anybody. Because nobody was able to. Who was going to tell? Kenny? Was Kenny going to come back and be like, oh, hey guys, by the way. You see that Samuki fellow? I actually incarnated Yorosu in there. And yeah, Sukuna often. No one told him that. So Megumi, he's gone through it horrendously. And he got smacked by 5 Unlimited Voids. You wouldn't get up either, alright? Similar to what Blzkn just said, if you got possessed by Sukuna, what are you doing? Which one of y'all are kids of kenjaku? Let me know. Who got their cheeks left, right, good nighted so you could left, right, good night other people? Huh? Who y'all kenjaku? I'm not. Last I checked. If Sukuna got me, Sukuna got me. So like, I don't get hate on him for that. Just so they don't get hate on him for 251. I agree he sold. But I don't think that's a viable reason to hate on Broski. But let's
to a step further, we then got the moment where his body got snatched and everybody started hating him. And I'm not gonna lie, if Sukuna snatched your body, you'd be cooked too. Not only did he snatch his body and cook him, but he packed up his sister, packed up his benefactor, and then went on a generational run. Like, listen, I'm not gonna lie, when he decided he gave up, I would have gave up too. So I know we're not anime characters. I know everybody wants them to get back up and be built different and lock into it, but let's have some realism. And I think the way Megumi has currently reacted has been very in character. So what does this mean for his comeback? How will he come back? I do believe a lot of people are expecting Yuji to...
Okay, so I do agree. I do agree wholeheartedly. I'm trying to make something extra. But with that being the case, I do agree with Blzkn, right? Like, he and I have the exact same idea when it comes to, like, it's not his fault. He ain't do nothing. Get off his back. Y'all ain't built every need. Like, don't get me wrong. I know some of the people in my comment section are absolute monsters, beasts, and demons. But level with me, dog. Which one of us is really boxing with Sukuna in a soul battle? Which one of us are really going to make like, we should give Megumi all the credit he deserves for fighting back at all in the state he was in before he slaughtered his sister. Before he was sunk in a bath of pure evil. Before bro was put through it. He went, like, going through it is darn near an understatement, y'all. Like it is darn near an understatement. Megumi has gone, will go through, and will ever, I can't even say the words right, he will have always gone through it. And that's okay. That's okay. The character does not need slander for this. I think, if anything, I think we should be praising the character writing, not slandering Homeboy. At least in my opinion. I think this is better. I think a lot of a lot of
But let's have
the
some
negative
realism.
reactions
And I think the
do
way
come
Megumi has currently
as they brought
reacted
up.
has been very in. No, we're not anime character. Snatch his body and cook him, but he
Where
packed
is
up
it?
his sister, packed up his benefactor, and then went on a general.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. In terms of like generational crash outs and legacy runs, Sugura's been going through it with Megumi. And that's crazy, y'all. We gotta remember all this negativity that's bro steeped in. It's not just bro was not sitting pretty like a princess locked up in a tower. Bro had gone through it, y'all. Get off his back. It's
Right.
not
Like,
that
listen,
serious.
I'm not
As
gonna
they
lie.
say,
When he
stop
decided he gave up, I would have gave up too. So I know we're not anime characters. I don't want everybody wants them to get back up and be built different and lock into it. But let's have some realism. And I think the way Megumi has currently reacted has been very in character. So what does this mean for his comeback? How will he come back? I do believe.
I don't want him to come back. BT, I know y'all are gonna be like, whoa, pencil. I thought you were defending Megumi. What do you mean I don't want him to come back? I want him to lose. I want him to be lost. I want them to have to sack him. Oh yeah, I'm saying it. Like as much as I like Megumi, as much as I'm appreciating what Restless Gambler and Blzkn are slowly doing for my Megumi appreciation, they're checking it up. I've gone from liking him just enough for me to not be indifferent like I am to some characters to generally liking him a decent chunk more. But even still, I want Broski to be lost. I want JJK to be a story of sacrifice where you really, really, really can't save everybody. Where ultimately Yuji just fails. And there's nothing he could have done about it. I still want Yuji to win. I still want Suguna to fall. Like, I don't want like Giga Dark ending. Where Suguna just Millie rocks over the verse and then summons the merger, gets one tapped, and then we just hold that. Like, I don't want that. But at the same time, no Kilo Kizzle? I don't want Mega to be saved. There are ways, and I'll talk about it in my own video as Blzkn goes over these ways. But like, I'm more than willing to sack, bro. It's a necessity at this point.
A lot of people are expecting Yuji to go save Megumi for the simple fact it would parallel nicely when Megumi asks Yuji to save him in Shibuya and kind of helps him to lock back in. But unironically, I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case for the simple fact that Megumi has to now live for himself. Depending on somebody else, as he already used Miki as a conscience to guide him, then shifting that to Yuji would allow him to get back to the exact same spot, especially if something bad happens to Yuji. So this can either go to two pathways. He can say, forget everything and become the major antagonist. And I do have a video coming out, so if you'd like to check that out, obviously let me know. But if not, he can go the opposite way where he comes in and we get the dynamic duo of Yuji and Megumi. And
I'll make a video talk. I don't like antagonist Megumi. I'll admit, all the pieces are there. Like, genuinely, all the pieces are there. And like, antagonist Megumi is a perfect thing for JJK 2 or JJK Shippuden or JJK the Next Generation. Like, the only I see the vision, right? But at the same time, I really don't want that. That would be crazy. At least in my opinion. I don't get the appeal behind that one, y'all. Like personally, I'm not gonna say that would ruin Megumi's character for me, but I'm not gonna say it would make it any good, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, that would be what I don't like antagonist Megumi. That's something that I don't rock with. I get why people rock with it, because it would give Megumi importance. And once again, it would add to the tragedy. You would think I'd rock with it more, especially considering one of my favorite things about Yuji is how he goes through it consistently, and how he's always suffering, and how he never gets to do anything that he'd ever want to do, because the whole world's against it. Like, that is one of my favorite aspects about Yuji. Oh yeah, boy, wrong. Yeah, I get it. I see the vision. But I'm also blind, so like, I don't want that. Really don't want villain Megumi. It's something that can happen. Something that's been hinted at and established. What a lot of people have been using is the fact that the merger is in Megumi's name, and the merger seems like a plot point too important not to happen. I see it. I see your old vision. I just need y'all to get new glasses. Like, I just don't want it. I really don't want it. But that's admittedly my biases. That is not even, like, I'm not even saying it would be a bad thing. Like I said, I can't say that would ruin Megumi's character. Just like I don't think 251 has ruined Megumi's character. It's just, I wouldn't like it. So I don't want it. It's how I feel about Gojo coming back. But of course, one of these things is more prescient and viable than the other in the grand scheme of the narrative. Like, there are levels to it. For Yuji and Megumi dynamic duo, I'd be fine with that. And that mainly goes into the fact that I want Yuji to mean something beyond being a wake-up button. Like, I do genuinely want bro to be more than just, like, he can help Megumi live on his own. In a similar way to, a lot of people have been calling back to it, and I'll do the same, in a similar way to what Todo was for Yuji back in Shibuya, where Yuji was going through it. He was lost in the emotional sauce. He was like, I did it. I told everyone. My animals. I slaughtered them. My animals. Like that. And then Yuji is the reason for Megumi's return through playing the Todo role like Todo played for him. That I'd be fine with. And seeing them jump Sukuna would be very satisfying. And of course, there's still more things I want to see from the 10 Shadows and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I prefer that over Villain Megumi any day of the week. I'm sorry, I'm wrapping up this thing.
Megumi actually saves himself to realize there is something more to living than just his sister. But more than just that, this puts him on the pedestal to now become way more selfish and really to get deep into his bag and become the person that a lot of people are expecting him to do. And when he does, you guys can't switch up on the bus. People are going to try saying, oh, you remember that time?
I'll be real. This doesn't even just apply to Megumi. This applies to everything. Man, if I switch up, what you gonna do? Huh? I switched up on boards, huh? Who's stopping me? Who's stopping me? I'm seven chapters deep at the time I'm recording. Every single chapter of the timeskip review. I switched up. And not a single Boruto fan come for me yet. Huh? What you gonna do, Blzkn? What are you gonna do if I switch up on Megumi? Huh? Nothing. I'm not even like calling this bluff. I hope you do nothing. Blzkn seems buff. I want to fight Blzkn. But like, if that be the case, why would it? I don't know. I never got the idea of, don't switch up. No, please switch up. That's what I'm here trying to convince you. I don't get the whole. This is just a general thing that applies to everything, whether it be Boruto, whether it be Megumi, whether it be anything. Please switch up. I want more people to have my opinion and enjoy the things I do. Like, dog. Why wouldn't you want people to switch up? I'm not saying you're getting me to switch up, because it's not like I need to be switched up. Like, once again, I agree with these two. But why are you pushing away potential fans? Why are you trying to lower the Megumi fan base? Prevent them from switching up. Come on now. I mean, I guess it's like, but I suppose I understand. You're in the trenches right now. You're going through it, just like the Sukuna fans were going through it. So like, yeah, maybe that's it. You don't want people to suddenly identify with you when not the week before they were yelling at you from the bushes. So I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. But outside of that, bro, little switch up never hurt nobody. Come on. You know, little switch up never hurt nobody. But let's see. What's it? Yeah.
No, your chain is fake. Play the Soul Illuminati.
I knew it was fake. I knew it.
Because all these people been slandering Megumi, calling him a Maharaga merchant, calling him a potential merchant, saying all he ever does is have his hand signs. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know if this is intentional because they're setting my boy up for generational slander. But all those who slander...
but like, here's the thing, though. At least in my opinion, comedy always has some sort of root in reality, right? Like, art imitates life, you know what I'm saying? But in this case, we ain't wrong. Like, it's not exact, but in the 251 first panel, he's laying down, but his fists are like this. Dog. Like, don't get me wrong. I agree. He doesn't always go for Maharaga. Like, he fought Reggie. Raga wasn't mentioned once. He fought Reggie's whole crew and Raga wasn't mentioned once. He beat the Finger Bearer without Raga. Like, there are definitely things. But, hey, I ain't knocking people for calling him potential, man. Because, being real, that's kind of what he is. It's all about that potential. Potential I don't think he could reach. I don't ever think he would have reached Gojo's level. I'll be completely honest. Even if he mastered Raga. I don't think the 10 Shadows is ever equal to the successor Limitless. Never. Yeah, never. So the memes are low-key valid.
Megumi, your names are remembered, you're on my list, and when he starts cooking, I'm not trying to hear none of you mans coming up hyping saying, oh, I always knew Megumi was going to cook. Oh, of course Sukuna had to...
Okay. That I agree with. That I 100% agree with. Don't start fake claiming. Like, when I say I switched up on Boruto, I mean it. I did not like it. Manga or anime. But I appreciate what the time skip's doing for the characters, and I like the final twist in part 1 of the time skip. So, I switch up, but I don't lie. Like, a lot of people have now said, you know, for a long-standing Gojo glazer, you seem to switch up and now are Sukuna slobber. Number one, I've had this hat for a long time, alright? I've been. But number two, yeah, I admit it. Okay, and who won? You gotta play for the winning team, bucko. I switch up in a heartbeat, but I'll be honest with you. I agree. Don't be one of the people that Blzkn can talk about. Don't switch up and then lie and pretend like you were there the entire time. Like, bucko, we have your plane ticket. You just threw that in the trash. Like, we see you. We see you. Don't try and fake play. Don't try fake play. Don't try and fake play like you were there the entire time, bucko. We have the history. We do have the receipts. I do agree with that. Don't be that kind of switcheroony. Fight in your own unique way. From the bottom of your heart.
It was money because I knew he was going to cook. So I think for that part, it's going to be very, very spooky. But what role can he come? And I think that really depends. A lot of us, like we said, expect Yuji and Megumi to team up against Sukuna. And I do think that is my personal ending that I would like, because the two people who have been affected the most by Sukuna is those two people. Okay. So because of this, I think it sets up nicely for their team up, and really depends on the route Gege goes, because we still have the merger, we still have Sukuna's plotline, and potential other twists that could come. And the final twist is if Megumi becomes evil himself, because he abandons everything and decides to live for himself. But the only way that I can personally see that is if the merger allows him to bring back something that he's lost, and if he's so fixated on Tsumiki to the point that he does anything to bring her back. But obviously I'm going to save that for a little time, because I do want to explore that a little bit more of my video. But I think Megumi not only is one of my favorite characters, he'll forever be in my top 5. He's a character that will always move me because his conflict isn't so in your face, and you do have to read between the lines to really delve more into his character. I do believe for those who are not on that wave, Megumi Fushiguro will move mountains.
On my side of things, I do see Megumi.
I don't see the vision. Laser's gonna lay my line right here. I don't see the vision. I don't see him moving mountains. I see him being a mountain that needs to be moved, but I don't see him moving mountains. I say it as simple as that. That's all I got. But I do respect it. And I hope he's right? Like, I do hope that Megumi does end up changing me, and like greatly appreciate it. And that's a big thing, right? He brings up a fantastic point. A lot of Megumi's struggles not overt. They're very covert. They're undercover. They be slipping under the rug a little bit. You gotta dig a little deep for it. But I'm lazy. Nah, I'm kidding. But with that, I hope he's right. I hope he gets the world he dreams of and desires. Because that'd be nice. But
Megumi being saved by Yuji, but not how you might think it is. I think Yuji will make him realize what's going on, and Megumi himself will choose to...
Language. Throw another one on the counter real quick. Hold on.
Take action. In the end, Megumi, as Blzkn said, has to save himself no matter what. Some way and somehow, Megumi has to realize that his life isn't just Tsumiki, bruh. His character has to lead up to that, and all the instances of Megumi going crazy before is because of a change in mindset. Megumi needs to stop caring about saving others and start saving himself, as this will separate him from merely being strong and being the strongest. I do think Megumi will fight Sukuna in the end alongside Yuji, but with his ideology fully awakened. In regards to his power, I don't know what to expect, but I want him to utilize his 10 shadows to his greatest capacity. Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments and join the Discord. Do make sure to check out my guy Blzkn's channel, link is in the description. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.
All right. This is what I drew, by the way. The idea came to mind. I don't know. It doesn't even look like Megumi. It looks more like Gojo. But you know what this panel's a reference to. But with that being the case, W video. Admittedly, I find it hard pressed. I think the Megumi haters are gonna hate Megumi regardless, because once again, what was lost is lost now. But they make fantastic points. That was a fantastic video. Easy 10 out of 10. Wonderful. Honestly, low-key want more collabs from them in the future. I'd love to hear Restless Gambler do like collabs with people, like with more like genuine talking back and forth. Because that was like a Restless Gambler section, Blzkn section, Restless Gambler section. But like hearing them play off each other would be really, really cool. Both fantastic content creators. Please go peep them. Links to, I'll put both channels, honestly. I'll put the link to the original video on Restless Gambler's channel, but I'll also put the link to Blzkn's channel in the comment section down below. I think he's a fantastic content creator as well. Please go check both of them out, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What did I tell you? I said it was going to be at least 30 minutes of video. But gosh, darn it, regardless of all that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you made it all the way to the end, please leave Shadow Merchant. Just leave Shadow Merchant in the comment section down below. And to thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also then become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks include the live reaction to the very next chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen, ad-free variations of all my videos, and if you become a $25 patron or a $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Now, to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, O'Connor Plays, Greyhound, Akids Void, Astro, and Red Wolf 4765. I'd like to give another thank you to our $5 patrons, Victor, Steron, Sean, RNG Master, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Jermaine, Igneal, EHAC1, and Demix LND. And I'd like to give another thank you to our $7 members, Autumn, Mornings Lazo, Sick Addiction, and Jan Toma. And I'd like to give another gargantuan thank you to our $10 member, Jay Warrior. And I'd like to give another thank you to our two $10 patrons, Joaquin and Item Okami. And I'd like to give a hefty thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. And I'd like to give another gargantuan thank you to our $25 patron, Winter. Another hefty thank you to our $25 patron, ChinaDoll09. And a final gargantuan thank you to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.